All right.
Ooh,
Hi.
hello, hello.
Hi, Facebook land. So I
Face
have my beautiful friend here, Megan Adair, and Megan's in Ohio.
Ohio.
Yes, and I am here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Well, in Indian Trail, actually, specifically, which is right underneath Charlotte, right south of Charlotte. And we wanted to give you all an idea and a special invitation of the energies of what we're going to be playing with in our awakening class that Megan is hosting me for in Dublin, Ohio. And we've been getting some messages, we've been getting some questions about what is all this about. So we thought we would jump on here and clarify some things and also share what some of these energies have been creating for us and what they mean to us. The awakening class is all about where you get to play with the energies, these gentle, super nurturing energies of the living and dying body process. And Megan's like, every time I want to talk about the living and dying body process, it's like I get a different aha as to what it even is and what it can create. So you've been playing around with this tool for what, a year now? Little less than a
Probably.
year?
I don't even remember. No. It's just been over a year. It's been 13 months. 13 months, which it feels like it's been 2 years actually. Time remains squirrely, truly. Yeah,
Yes, it
been
does.
just over a year, and it's such a fun and interesting exploration with these energies. It might sound weird, like the living and dying body process. And there's always somewhere that we're living. There's something living in our lives, and there's something dying in our lives. There's things that we're letting go of. There's things that we're embracing. Also in our body, there's skin cells we're getting rid of. There's skin cells that are living and growing and thriving. There's always these energies of living and dying. And so why not play with them and acknowledge them instead of making them super significant and being triggered by all of it.
Well, and I love the word embrace.
Mm.
I did a call with my siblings when I first years ago started my podcast, Choosing a Different Future. And it was called Embracing Our Differences. And I think that that's exactly what this body process and this energies invite us to. So you're spot on. Like what each of us creates and each of us connects to our own body and to other bodies in a different way. And I was really fortunate to be in a household that we discussed all that, and we didn't think about like, oh, it's not fair that this person can't walk in a certain way, or this person can't hear in a certain way, this person can't learn the way that this schooling is expecting of us to learn. We all had to figure out what's going to work for each of us. And this body process has done that for me time and time again. It's done that for so many of the people that have received it. And definitely in the class, when we get to have these discussions around what does living really mean to us. So overall, in general, living, when we talk about the living and dying body process, it's like you said, what we add, who we add, the people that are going to have our back, the energies that are going to expand our worlds, that light us up, that make our lives worth living. And then the dying part is actually something that we need to embrace too. Otherwise, we're going to be weighted down by pressure and judgment and burden and solid stuff when things aren't flowing in our bodies the way we'd like them to, like that ooh ah flow that I've talked about quite a bit. Like where is that? Hey, something's beeping. There we go. Oh, there we go. You guys got a view of my goodies over here. So, the process for me is that's really been the part that I think more people need to embrace so that they can have more ease, is what do we need to let go of that's weighing us down, that is making things sluggish and slow and like you said, significant, so that we can actually be like, yeah, my life, let's do this thing. Because all of us have had these moments. I certainly had many of them in the last year where I'm like, really? Like, this is happening in the news right now. This is happening in the world. What's going on with the earth? What's going on with these people, these crazy people choosing these interesting things?
Oh, what?
Yeah.
It's kind of
And I
insane.
love that each of these classes, we have a different theme so that we can kind of have a guide, something that we're calling in that we'd really like to have more of. And you are a great part of choosing this theme for our class. What made you think of unleashing the hidden gems within you? Like, what does that mean to you that you were like, you know what, let's lean into this?
I mean, the more I live, the more I do energy work, the more I just like live my life, the more I see that there's always more. There's always more, and like what's actually underneath the surface, and what else is in there, and like what do I have a capacity with that I haven't acknowledged that I have a capacity with. So, and what ease can I have here? The beautiful thing is, and I'm so grateful just for energy, that I don't always have to verbalize it. I don't always have to like know what actually is happening. There's like energy moving, and I'm choosing things energetically, like with this process, and things are shifting, and then I'm in a new place. Like somehow, like there's definitely a part of me that's completely nonverbal. And to make life work for me, like I really had to adapt to being very verbal and learn how to communicate, and I can always be a better communicator. And I love it when I just have the freedom of the nonverbal and the energy. And so, as weird as that sounds, like I really love that. And
I think I really appreciate that, because that builds confidence in you following your inner knowing, in you following the awareness that you have of energy, which is there if there's words or not. The energy is always there.
Yeah. And I'll just want to say, this awakening class is on Saturday, August 19th, and it's in Columbus, Ohio, Saturday, August 19th, because I don't think we said that yet. And I wanted to say that.
Yeah, we should say it. Thank you for keeping me on task and reminding me, because I'm like, the energy, let's play, let's get let's do this
awesome.
thing.
And logistics. It's a beautiful place. And yeah, I mean, what else is possible if you come play with us and dip into this awakening process? Like, I love that it's called awakening, because it really does awaken new things in all of us.
And I love what you said about that the words aren't required. In the class, we talk about some of the words we can use to awaken these energies, to activate them, for us to be more alert and aware of them. And yet, as soon as we talk about it, it's there, it's running, it's doing its thing, and you don't ever have to say it out loud ever again. It could just be in your head. It could just be you acknowledging that it's there, and it starts running. And I think that's why it's so powerful and effective for kids too, and for people who they don't always feel like they are the best of communicators, but they're so sensitive to and aware of these energies that they receive this and perceive it so quickly. And they love the dance and they love the movements. They don't feel like they have to stay still, because when you're running this body process, like you can move and dance. And some people get so much energy from it that they want to do push-ups and they want to do yoga poses, and they want to like go ahead and stretch and be literally like a cat or a dog on the rug, and just be like playing around, like getting a little scratchy itchies out. Like it's really fun. And that invites this playfulness that I think is really key to unleashing the gems within us. And for me, the gems are like, what are our gifts? What are our capacities? But also, what do we know about having fun and living our lives with enthusiasm, with like some whimsy, some flirtation that maybe we could have again, that maybe we've gotten little peaks of and we'd like more of it. Maybe we've actually have it quite a bit, and it's still, there's no cap, there's no limit to it. And the more that we have that, the more we have us in our lives. And I would love each of us to have more of us in our lives, instead of like going through the motions, feeling like we just have to like do these things, this adulting thing, this just being here, I guess this is what I'm supposed to do thing.
Yeah. That can get really mundane and super not fun. Like mundane and a little crusty, a little sad.
I like the other piece that we talked about that we don't really have to have the verbal, and that if we can pick up on the energy of this, like we are running the body process right now, so y'all can perceive some of it, from our bodies. And I'm curious how you are aware of it. Like, what is it actually like feel like with your body to be watching us right now, to be listening to our voices, if you have the sound on even at all? I know that a lot of people were like, Siris, I just want to be around you and I want to just be around your body, because as soon as you're on the screen, there's a softening in my world. And yet I don't get that it's really about me and my body. It's about how that person picks up on energy and bodies and the energy that I be with this living and dying body process. And you can be that for other people, including for yourself, that softening when you get all, what if you could go, and like melt like butter? And how much easier would life be if you could soften those when those times when things are really tense and really not so fun. Yeah. So I think that when I can do that more and more and more, even with all the onslaught of things that happen in the world, in my life, with my family, with my business, every time I can perceive that, acknowledge it, and then soften it, perceive that, acknowledge it, and then, okay, move it, it builds my confidence. It lets me know, okay, no matter what happens, I can handle it and I can thrive beyond it and I can soar and I can find the people that are going to help me have an easier time with it and create something different. And you have been one of those people in my life and over the last couple of years. And I'm just so glad you got to add this tool to your treasure chest in the midst of all of your other tools that you have. And I think that's the other thing I love about unleashing the hidden gems within you, is that it's just another gem and another gem and another gem that you add to your treasure chest. You don't have to say that everything that you've done before, all the things that you've been playing around with before, they don't go away. No. You're just adding this to it. That's the living. You're adding it on.
Yeah. And it's, I mean, it's easy for us to think of, I don't know, I want to encourage you to like think of this and look at this and engage with this energy as its own being, because it's its own thing. The living and dying body process is its own thing, just like the trees behind you, Siris, are their own thing. They're their own beings. Mm-hmm. The beautiful thing, I think when I was growing up, I was obsessed with Narnia. Like those, just how like the trees could talk and the trees could walk and like the animals talked and everything was so alive. And the thing is, we live in a world where everything is conscious. Everything is conscious. Everything, like we're all interacting and contributing to one another. There's all this cooperation happening. There's all these energies moving. And what I love about this process and energy work in general, and especially this process, is that it really encourages you to look at the energy and to perceive the energy and to be aware of the energy and to acknowledge your awareness. For many of us in the Western world, that is a process of getting back to our own awareness instead of just shutting it down so that we can survive in this wild, wacky, mundane, everyday world, especially if you live in the US, because I feel like it's a little extra crazy here, just to be completely honest. It's crazy. Mm-hmm. And when you can acknowledge all those energies and acknowledge what you're aware of, there's so much more available to you than if you're just like blinders on, head down, going through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's almost, I would say it's also about unleashing the hidden gems in your world and in the world and in the earth, because it just opens up so much.
Mm-hmm. Like, I love the word that you use of cooperative, and they're really asking for us, the trees, the earth, other bodies, like the people in our lives' bodies, the spaces that we're navigating. If we're in a school, if we're in an office building, if we're, going to a meeting, if we're going to a restaurant, those spaces are really waiting for us to cooperate and collaborate, co-create with them.
Yeah.
And if we are willing to perceive the energies within it, we can do it a lot easier in a way that can be super nurturing to us, instead of what used to happen with me, which is I would be exhausted after being in those spaces. If I go to a mall, I'd walk away, just be like limping sometimes, literally. And I didn't want that anymore. And so this is one of the things that I love about being aware of energy and having and being willing to move it on out, the dying, letting those stuff that isn't ours move on through and be like, all right, hi, thank you, see you, bye, next time. So that we can actually collaborate and cooperate with these energies, with the bodies, with these spaces with a lot more ease, that actually creates more for us, but doesn't create these walls of separation, so that the things that would like to add to our living, our exuberant living, they can get through, they can get to us too.
Yeah.
And so that's the trickiness of all of it, is when we actually get to unleash and awaken these things that are been waiting for us to play with them for however long. Man, like, I'm really curious how much we can more shine up the gem that is us, because it's unleashing it, but it's also recognizing that we are the gem, and that we have a bunch of gems within us as well, with these gifts and talents and skills that we have. And then what if we can fine tune them and really sharpen them even more, so we can have that perception that's like so clear, and that again builds confidence. And I think that in a time of uncertainty that the last couple of years really have been, that's really important right now. We need to feel more confident in our abilities to create a life that is actually worthwhile for us, and that is a world that is going to be good for our kids and going to be good for the people that we love being here. Otherwise, I can see why it would be really challenging to want to be here. And I think that that's one of the things that I personally would love for these people to experience with this, is for them to be like, no, I can have my joy here. I can have me here no matter what's going on. So I really hope that everyone connects with us and gets to play with us in person. This is an in-person only class. Some of the awakening classes are live streamed and in person, but this one's just in person. Really intimate group. We only got 10 spaces in Jessica Bentley's skin spa in Dublin, Ohio. So check out her space as well. It's a beautiful space. And I love that the space itself has salt on the walls. You know, it has gems. It has the earth there to contribute to our bodies. It's a super yum-tastic space. And so if you love connecting with other people in an intimate way, in a vulnerable way that actually creates more for you, join us and contact us directly for any questions or information. But thanks y'all for watching. Thank you, Megan, for your awareness on what would be beneficial for us to do and be with this class. And gosh, I can't wait. It's only a couple weeks away, and yet the energy of it is already opening up doors for new possibilities.
Yeah. And feel free to reach out to either of us. All questions welcome. We'd love to chat with you.
Mwah. Bye, honey.
Bye.